All right, everybody, Lakeisha McKnight is here. Welcome back to the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. I'm your senior host and your coach, Lakeisha McKnight. And again, welcome. This is a media outlet. This is a podcast that's part of the nonprofit based in Chesapeake, Virginia, entitled Women of Elevation Career Services International. And this is a nonprofit, a 501c3 that's based in Chesapeake, Virginia. We are soon going to be opening up a location in Nigeria, Africa. So, of course, we're waiting and we're definitely allowing God to lead us as that door begins to open. But feel free to learn more about the podcast as well as the nonprofit by visiting www.womenofElevation.com. And I want to say thank you to you because I know there's so many women around the world who listen into this podcast as well. And I understand that there's over 20 countries as a whole that listens to many of the podcasts that I host. So if you are in Canada, if you're in South Africa or anywhere around the world, especially the United States, thank you so much for listening in and tuning into this podcast show. Now, the podcast, along with the nonprofit, we empower women with the tools to be able to create, relate, and elevate. And during the first 4 months of every year, we focus on helping you to create. And so, for the rest of April, that's what we're doing. Yesterday, we started a podcast series that talked about how to create your desired income. And so we're going to continue on with that right now as we speak. But of course, I'm live right now. It's about 8:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I'm going to be doing right now is sharing that I'm live in the Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group for the nonprofit. It's called Women of Elevation. And if you're on Facebook, definitely look it up, search for that group name, Women of Elevation, and request to join the group. Because our goal is to increase engagement in the group. And so one way of doing this is letting you know when we're live and getting you engaged through the podcast. It's just one avenue that we're going to use. So I'm going to let people know that I am live on the podcast now. So I'm live on a podcast now talking about money. And normally these podcast episodes can last anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what it is that we have going on. So what I am doing is just making sure that people am aware that I am live and that they of course can tune in. That's what I'm here for. So join me as I am live talking about money. Okay. So hopefully you've listened in, of course, to podcast episode number 1. If you haven't, definitely go ahead and do that. You'll be able to do that, of course, once we finish up here with the second part. But we're talking about money, and I know, it's definitely tight for some households. I know that sometimes it can be a bit difficult, especially for the stay-at-home mom. If you're listening right now, you're a stay-at-home mother. And you're just trying to figure out, man, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make ends meet? How am I really going to feed your family? And then also at the same time, live your desired lifestyle, because no one wants to live paycheck to paycheck, right? And we talked about that yesterday, how, in some instances, even if you are part of an organization, sometimes, you have a way of negotiating, and you can negotiate with your employer. But in most cases, they give you a set amount. They give you a set salary or an hourly wage, and that's it. They kind of run the show when it comes to your income. And as a stay-at-home mom, you may have even more limited income, if you are trying to make ends meet, or if you're getting assistance from your local city or your government. It's meant to be temporary. Not something that you live off of, okay? Even if you're getting assistance from the government, it's supposed to be temporary. But one of the ways in which you can have a lot of room to leverage your time is by becoming an entrepreneur. And I talked a little bit about that last night, but I want to elaborate a little bit more on that tonight. As an entrepreneur, you have the ability to discuss or to brainstorm how you want to generate income when you feel that you want a raise. So for example, if I go out there, I can go out there and get me another 2 or 3 one-on-one consulting clients and give my own self a raise, because my business is comprised of consulting and coaching. And I don't necessarily have to wait and say, okay, I have to wait for an employer to say, okay, I'm going to give you a raise. I'm going to give you some more money. It's not necessarily required to do that. You can go out there as an entrepreneur, and your job, of course, is to market your services and what it is that you offer to your market, to your audience, that these are the typical clients that you're going to serve, and let them know how you can solve a concern that they have. And if they feel that because of your quality of service, because of how you stand apart from others, if they feel that you can solve their concern, they will jump on board. They will be more than happy to say, you know what, I'm gonna try your services. I'm gonna try your product, and that will be that. But in some cases, it can be very difficult. Okay, it can be very difficult to really make it work. And trust me when I say, if you don't have the right assistance, mentoring, from another person that's experienced as an entrepreneur, or a coach in your life, it can be difficult, to take the entrepreneurial road. But if you get the help, the training that you need, it can work, and it can be quite satisfying. I like to be transparent about it, because one of the things that I realized as an entrepreneur is it doesn't help new entrepreneurs if you don't let them know what the journey looks like. And if you are new and you're saying, well, I'm going to launch out there with a business, I want you to know the truth. Okay, so that you can prepare yourself mentally, physically, as well as financially. And, prepare your family, because it's the new way of doing things. It's a shift in your time and your focus. So entrepreneurship is a way to go. But in order to really have your desired income as an entrepreneur, you have to figure out where your clients are that you want to serve, how you're going to reach them, and how you're going to establish competitive advantage whereby your potential client will choose you so that you can serve them with your products and your services. All of these things need to be figured out, as well as the pricing. How much are you going to, require when it comes to a service you offer or a product that you're offering for sale? You have to see what the average cost is in the market, and then make that decision. And then not waver from that, because if you begin to waver, then people will see that your services, you don't really value your own services. So just think about some of the things that I'm sharing with you tonight. And of course, if you're in need of more help, I'm going to encourage you to connect with us on Facebook if you're not there in the group. Okay. And what we're going to begin doing with these podcasts is these topics that I'm focusing on every week. We're going to focus on that topic throughout the entire week. That will be a focus. So if we're focusing in and the series is on creating more income, our post in the group is going to focus on helping you to create more income. Right? So you'll probably see more posts like this or thoughts like this inside of the group between tonight and tomorrow. So go ahead and join us in the group. Go on Facebook, look up Women of Elevation, and request to be a part of that group. But again, I thank you so much for being a part of this podcast show. Again, where we're empowering women like yourself to be able to have the tools to create, relate, and elevate. We're looking forward to meeting with many of you at our live seminar on April 29th. That's in less than 2 weeks, actually. It's coming up really, really soon. So in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to have a live seminar in Chesapeake, Virginia. That's at the Indian River Library inside of the conference room. So if you're in the area of Chesapeake, Virginia, feel free to visit www.thecreateseminar.com to grab your ticket to be present. At this event, we're going to be sharing with you how to create masterminds, how to create online courses, a professional speaking business, an author business where you're writing and publishing books. All of these things are going to be shared right there inside during that seminar. We would love to see you there. We're going to give you the steps, the how-tos, so that you can go out there and make it happen. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. And remember, of course, we're going to be back here on next week with a fresh new series. Thank you so much. Be blessed and take care.